Won't be the prettiest of setup videos, but when you're dealing in a bathroom, they never really are. So what we're looking at here is the bidet unit itself, the power cord, and then all the included hoses and accoutrements that we need. So we've got our T-valve, we've got a step if we need it, we've got L-valve, we've got our mounting hardware for the actual bidet itself, and maybe a cat just ran through the video. So this is everything unpacked as it comes in the box. And now we will get started on installing. And lighting in the bathroom is always great, and so is echoing, so this will be fun. But step one, when installing anything that deals with water, is first shutting off your water. Once your water is shut off, you're going to come up and you're going to make sure that you empty the water tank. Just kind of holding down on that to make sure it's completely empty. And you should also not hear any water refilling the tank. And if you're filming for YouTube, always make sure to clean your bathroom first. After you turn off your water, you're probably going to want to get yourself a bucket or some sort of catch. In my case, I have a towel down there. And in also my case, since I'm dealing in a dark area, you're probably going to want to get yourself some sort of light so that you can actually see what you're doing. After we turn the water off and we get our drop cloth down or bucket, we are supposed to uncouple the hose from our tank. Now you will expect some water leakage, and since I'm doing this by myself, I'm not actually going to film this and try and work within this very small workspace for me. So you'll see intermittent cuts as I'm doing things. So we're going to uncouple that from the tank. Once you have things decoupled, the next step is to use your T-bit here. And I'm going to see if I can use the same bit of flexi pipe that I have here connected to the T-pipe that was provided. You can use and replace this if you have something that's older and is not a burst-proof one, but since I already have it, I'm going to see if this will work for me. Alright, so there you got my T-valve in there. I'm just hand tightening things. So next step is to take my pre-existing hose and see if it'll actually connect. I did check ahead of time, obviously, before putting that in, so it will match up. So I don't have to use the included hose, just know that you did get a included hose that you could use. So in my case, I'm just going to tighten that back on. So there we go, everything's all connected for me. And let me zoom in a little bit there. Kind of looks like it's pinching the line a little bit, but we're going to see if that'll work. Alright, the next step in order of operations is to remove the toilet seat, but if you follow the instructions that come with the bidet itself, the toilet seat removal is actually like step 2, but I wanted something to lean on while I was trying to get into this little crevice over here for all the water stuff. So we're just going to remove the toilet seat now. Alright, so other toilet seat removed. Clean this area just because you're going to be putting a bracket on here. And this part will just go over in here. This is your mounting plate, your little mounting catch plate, one for each side. They slip in here, give you a little more leeway up and down, and then once this is installed side to side, what you're going to do is you're going to take this plate, put it on the toilet, and then here you have your screw, which comes all the way off like that. This is going to sit on top, and then your pieces here will go under your toilet. So where you kind of unscrew things from underneath the toilet seat, these sit underneath and then screw into this, which is in here. And the only reason I'm doing it here is because, well, like I said, it's really tricky to film this and do it in a small toilet location. This is just an example as to why they give you sliding and the ability to move things, so you will adjust this as needed for your particular toilet. So in my case, I just lightly have this one tamped down. I'll do this other one now, but you can kind of shift things, and I know that light is horrible, but you can shift the plate from left to right and then use these up and down to get your holes exactly where you need them. So you can see on my end, I'm going to have a little hangover of the plate on either side because this is an older toilet, but so still the next step is actually to mount this to your toilet, after which it's to install this L bracket, but because this one does not come with a remote and it has the control panel on the left, mounted the L bracket first since I'm working in a very small space. Next step is to click into the bracket. So we're going to take our unit here and just kind of glide it in. If we can find where things are. So here's the tricky part. You got to make sure that you're lined up in this little corridor here, and then you'll hear it click once it hits this back plate. So we're just going to line everything up. And you'll know you did it right if you give it a little tug up and it's not moving. And then we're just going to shift it back until you hear that click. So part of the reason you don't mount the bracket really tight when you first start is I had to do a little fiddling, and you can't really tell here, but it's not quite even. That's because this weird shaped toilet from the 90s, I want to say. Once you kind of scooch it and you get the bowl looking like you want, and I'm not showing you the bowl because the bowl is horribly stained because the clear coat has been coming off, so I'm not going to show you that, but kind of aligning things there means for me the back is crooked. And here, again, like I said, it's really tight in there, which is why I did the L bracket. But next step is to take our supply line for the bidet itself and attach it to the T-valve that we did underneath, and then to the bidet itself. Alright, it's a little tight in there, but T-valve set up, water supply to the L-valve for the bidet itself all situated. So the next step is to actually turn the water supply back on and make sure there's no leaks, because that would be really bad. So we're going to turn it on, see if there's any leaks. Now you do want to crank that on very slowly. Like I said, I don't really have room in here to film and show you, but water supply line has been turned back on. I can hear the toilet tank refilling. So we're just going to let that fill up, and we're going to check for leaks around all of our new points. And again, I know the lighting is horrible, but now the fun part for me. The power supply is on the right-hand side of the unit to keep everything away from the water. I get that. But for me, my electrical power is up here on the left-hand side. So I'm going to run something down here and wrap that electrical cord around the back, and then I'm probably going to mount something over there on the vanity. But for the time being, we're just going to take this, snake it around, and get my cord going. Okay, so we have things kind of pseudo plugged in. So we're going to take this and plug it in and see what we get. Which would probably help if I turn the power strip on. Sounds like it's filling the tank. It's indicating that it has power. That seems to be really it. There is a sticker on there indicating that you do need to be seated on this in order for things to work. That was installation. We'll see how things go operational-wise later on. The last thing that you want to do after completing your setup is you're going to want to make sure that you monitor for leaks. Quick and easy way to do this is just throw down some paper towels, see if there's any drippage to make sure that you're not leaking, or if you like tech home stuff, Roost smart water sensor. Just place that underneath and make sure that it doesn't detect any water. Okay.